challenging spirit within Honda. It gives us the courage to go faster and the thinking to make it real. Whether it looks like a truck, a sedan, or an SUV, inside is the heart of a race car.
My name is Jason Alder, and I'm the driver of the number 77 Ligier JS F3 car. Being a race car driver is cool and all, but it's really nothing when you're not utilizing it for a good cause, like spreading the word for type 1 and type 2 diabetes. It does a lot for me personally, and it does a lot for the FDA.
Some of the symptoms of type 1 diabetes are sudden weight loss, vision changes, frequent urination. So remember to check, don't guess, it may not be the flu, and that education is knowledge, and knowledge is the power to help save lives. Go to dfda.info to check out Rocco's story. Thank you and have a great day.
Welcome back to VIR. We're on the pre-grid for the next F4 race. We've already had one today, and the championship is still very much in the balance. Last time out, Ryan Shearhan of Crosslink Motorsport, Crosslink Kiwi Motorsport. I can't list out Kiwi bit. I'll get in trouble, especially with my friend Tina. But Ryan, from Texas, from Austin, Texas, good old Austin, Texas. I remember meeting you here when you had your first pole here at VIR. And now you're getting race wins. Your second one of the season, but you're not going to get all the full points. Is that right?
Yeah, unfortunately it's half points just because of the low amount of green flag running, but you know, we'll take it.
But the championship is still very much alive. Lockie had a problem last time out, and he leads the championship at the moment. But there's still a chance for all you know and everybody else to catch up.
Yeah, definitely starting pretty far back this race, so a good chance to catch up with some good points today.
What is it about VIR that you like so much? Because you seem to be going well here.
Yeah, it's almost like a roller coaster. It's up and down, really flowing, really high speeds, so it's kind of a driver's dream.
All right, well, driver's dream. I'm dreaming that you're going to get full points this time and no problems. Come with me here, because I can just see out the corner of my eye Noah Ping, who's also in this battle. Noah, first of all, what happened last time out, and how do you feel about this one?
Yeah, last time out was a bit difficult because we only got like 2 green flag laps, so it's really hard to overtake when you have 2 green flag laps.
It must be really annoying when all the adrenaline's going, right?
Yeah, a bit, and it's a bit exhausting because we have to warm the tires a lot too, which was fun. But yeah, this next race should be exciting. I'm super confident that we can come out on top, and we really need it for the championship too, so it'll be definitely an exciting race.
All right, we'll let you get prepared and get ready. I'm going to see if Lockie Hughes is around, because I can see him chatting to his engineers. But Lockie, can I have a quick word? Yep. Now, what happened last time out? You're keeping us on tenterhooks for our championship. You had a huge lead, and then what happened?
I just went for a move, and it didn't work, so it's my fault, really.
But you can obviously rectify that, and it's certainly not all come to naught. You've still got a good lead, but these guys are sniffing, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, the lead's basically nothing now, so I just need to try to have the best race possible. I'm starting down the back here now, so yeah, just try to stay out of trouble and work my way forward and hopefully get some decent points.
I was going to say, this is one of those races where championships can be won or lost, because it is about keeping your head. If you went hell-bent for leather now to try and get the lead, that might not actually pay the dividends.
No, I don't think so, but who knows? The racing here has been crazy, so it just depends, like, even if we get green flag laps, so we'll see.
And have you got anything to say for the folks back home watching you?
I just say, hi, sorry about race 1.
No apologies needed. Lockie Hughes, obviously one of the favourites. If we look a little further down the grid, we're watching Jay Howard's team get ready. Jay Howard always putting a big team together for these races. They've got another few entries in here. Andre Castro ready to go here. I'm just looking at, where's my man? Here he is. It is Carl. There he is. Carl, quick word with you, Carl. We've just been having a quick chat with Noah. What about yourself? How are you getting on?
I'm feeling pretty good going into this race, and pretty excited to be up at the front, and yeah, just excited to see how this race goes. So,
what's the key here at VIR? Do you go for a lead or go for an opportunity early, or wait?
Honestly, being at the front, I wouldn't mind. You really want to be able to stick with the person in front, I think, because the slipstream is so powerful here. But yeah, just making smart race decisions, I think, will get you where you want to get to.
All right, well, let's look further down. Thanks, Carl. Good luck. Watch out for the number 9. He'll be one of those that you should watch out for. A little further down, a little conflab here going on between some more of the Crosslink boys. In the middle of that, Dylan Tavella. Fonseca, another man you should watch out for, the number 76, Gabriel Fonseca. He's definitely one to watch. And also, we've got a bunch of Canadians, Lucas St. Jean and some of the other guys. Have Matt Christiansen. We haven't spoken to him for a while. Let's have a quick word with Matt. How are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
What's going on with you? You look like you can't get in there.
I'm just taking a rest before the race, thinking more about what I'm going to do.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to go out there and get on the podium. That's what I'm going to do.
That sounds like a good idea. Are you sure you can get your feet down there?
I think so. There
you go. Now he's fully in. How has the season gone so far?
Well, it's gone pretty good. We had strong races at NOLA and Road America, but the past 2 races haven't gone the way we wanted, so we're looking to make a comeback here at this race.
All right, we're looking forward to that comeback. Now, I want to be equal opportunity because I've just seen all the way down here Maddie Harris, and she is one of the few female drivers we've got here this season, so I want to make sure I give her a little bit of time because I met her at the beginning of the season, and like I said, girls now starting to become a power train when it comes to single-seater motor racing because there's definitely some opportunities. Chloe Chambers was one that's come through, and we've had several others over the last couple of years. And I'm also interested to see that the man mentoring her is one of my good friends, Josh Carr. Hello. But what's this young lady up to? I'm going to talk to her in a minute, but not a bad person to be looked after by you.
Yeah, this is her first time at Virginia, her first year in F4 racing, getting better all the time, lots and lots of laps. But she's loving it. She's doing really well, getting closer and closer to the pace every time we go out on track.
And I can see she's giving you hair advice and you're giving her race advice.
Yeah, I thought I would try and fit in with the vibe here and join in on the fun. But yeah, trying to help her as much as I can. Got a lot of experience around here myself, and it's just beautiful to be back out here.
I'm rotten to Josh Carr. He's a super champion, and I shouldn't be giving him a hard time about his hair. He's a good mate of mine. It's okay. We're friends. We can talk over. But I do want to talk to Maddie. Maddie, we met at the beginning of the season. How's it been going? Like I just said, having Josh Carr helping you out, it's not a bad thing, is it?
No, it's been great. I'm always just trying to absorb as much as I can, and he's really helped to give me a lot of information to take in and always just keep improving. That's what we've been doing all season. We've got some more results as the seasons go on, but always just keep pushing and trying to get after these boys out there.
And what's the plan for you? You're still very young, you're still starting out, but where do you hope to be?
Obviously any race car driver, that's what they want to pursue, so just going to keep pushing for that to see how far I can take it.
And these boys now are starting to take you girls seriously because more and more the success is coming, the W Series coming to America in a few weeks' time. Things are changing.
Yeah, I think it's great. I love seeing all these women out here doing great. You can see them on almost any social media platform, but, we're just trying to take over. It's a women's world, too.
That's what we like to see. Well, Maddie Harris, watch out for her in the 09. Let's see who else we can talk to, because I'm looking for... Where's your team boss? She never likes to talk to me, but I'll find her. I'll find her in a moment. Follow me, George. And as you can see, the grid full of plenty of folks looking for a chance. Let's talk to some more drivers here. Who have we got here? Dylan, who should I talk to? Let's talk to Dylan. How did you get on the last race? Dylan Tavella, this is. Come on, who should I talk to of these guys?
Definitely Bryson.
Okay, well, I know Bryson. I've already done some commentary, but I will do. Go on, how are you getting on?
We're doing good. Luck came to our favor in the last race. We're going to start there for the next race, but we have some tires, so we'll see. We should be really strong for the next one.
I've just been talking to Josh Carr, and it's an important role you play to help these guys out. You've done it. You know what they're all about, so you're helping out, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to help a little bit, but they're managing to do it on their own, so that's good.
All right, we'll leave Dylan alone. We'll have a quick word with Bryson, who's been in the commentary booth already. Bryson, we got this, right? We got this.
I think so. I've got the pace, I've got the tires, I've got the car, so I just got to do it now.
And you got a hell of a team manager, too.
Of course, he's the best.
All right, there you go. He's got the best. He's going for it. Let's head down here because it's a very important story that also happens every year here at VIR, and that is Andy Scriven. Sadly, we lost Andy a few years ago, and I'd like to talk to Max Crawford from Ligier about that. Max, every year we seem to get together just once a year, but the Andy Scriven Memorial, a very important thing. He was a big reader, and now there is a sort of an institution where we try to get books to help people learn to read. And tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, we started a race to reading. And we put it in pediatric. The books are there in a lot of doctors' offices. And the kids can take them home. They read them, take them home. It's almost become self-sufficient now. Financially, which is really good, and so we keep replacing the books, and it's really worked out very well. And if you knew Andy at all, he would be ecstatic about that.
And each and every year, do you try to find yourself in a position where you could tell the youngsters who may not know much about it just what it means for you and for Andy?
Yeah, well, obviously, Andy was a pretty prominent figure, as you probably remember, and so we're all very cognizant of him, and a lot of people understand that that these cars were all built and, designed by Andy, and he was also designer of the Formula 3 car. We never finished it, but we finished it, and yeah, so this is in his honour.
Just a note on that, because I've just been talking to Crosslink Kiwi Motorsport. They race very similar cars in New Zealand. The FR chassis, the R chassis raced all around the world, but Ligier have their part to play as well. How happy are you with the way things are turning out worldwide for this form of single-seater racing?
Okay, so we're building a new Formula 4 now, a Gen 2 car with a halo. Ligier's doing their own engine now. We're going to have a V4 in here for 24. And actually right now we're working with Formula 1 on the new FR car, which is going to mimic a Formula 1 car. So it's the first time that in the 5 years that I've been working with the FIA that they allow us now to they're showing us all what we've done wrong, obviously, and then but the new car they're stunning. I mean, they are absolutely stunning.
Hope you don't mind me prying, but when you say mimicking, I mean, it's got the halo. It's very similar to the Formula 1 car already. Are we talking DRS, or what are we talking?
Push to pass.
Okay.
We have a turbo boost for push to pass. We have been looking at DRS as well. It's got the swept back wings, the curved rear wings. We're very, very cognizant of the air off the car in following, so we've worked very hard on that. It's been doing CFD since last Christmas, and we've come a long way. And so the car is going to be very, very good, yeah.
When you say you've come a long way, I was at the launch at COTA those years ago when the car was actually launched for the first time. And I think worldwide, I've been very lucky to travel the world and see the success of both F4 and FR. You've got to be pleased from Ligier's point of view.
Yes, I am very pleased. I want to see an American driver in Formula 1.
We all do.
That's been my goal, obviously. That's why I started Formula 4. That's why I came up with the idea. But it has come along well, and we've got. I mean, if you look at what we've done with our graduates of Formula 4 and Formula 3, a pretty impressive lot. When I was at Petite last weekend, and I was looking at all the graduates there in the cars. We've won the IPC championship. People that won the WeatherTech championship. I mean, it's pretty good. Carl Kirkwoods is in the Lexus, so it's a pretty good deal. I just need the next step.
Yeah, I know. I keep seeing people like Kyle and and many of the others that have come through, and seeing them achieve what they're achieving. It's so exciting to watch them get into IndyCar. Kirkwood is the perfect example.
Yeah, and Dakota.
Yeah, Dakota Dickerson. Yeah.
So for me, what I want right now is the FR winner to go to International Formula 3. If I could get that to happen, I'd be ecstatic. That'd be my next move.
Hunter Yaney up there as well, and of course, let's not forget the likes of Crawford also up there as well in the Red Bull program. So we are seeing American Sargent right on the verge, although he didn't come through this.
No, he didn't come through this, but you're right. I'm not so very worried it doesn't come out of here, just as long as it happens.
But it's also great for the international drivers. Josh Carr as well coming through this, and we've seen very many international drivers taking advantage of what Honda is offering.
Yeah, well, it is good, and we're going to have an announcement at the Formula 1 race at COTA for the FR winner, so it's going to be a big deal for us going forward.
Well, Max, thanks for talking to us, and long may it continue. And let's just pause a little bit. As I mentioned, Andy Scriven was a big part of the design of these cars, and so each and every year at VIR, we remember him, and there's also the special prerogative of reading to race, and that is obviously in his name, and I'm sure if he were here today, he'd be very pleased to know that we're still remembering him and Andy Scriven Memorial race coming up in race 2 of Formula 4. But why don't we pause now for a moment's silence here for Andy Scriven. Christy Wilkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Christy Wilkins. Great job. And now for those most famous words in motorsport, Max Crawford.
Drivers, start your engines.
Welcome to round number 2 for the weekend for the F4 U.S. Championship powered by Honda. My name's John Fippin from the commentary box. Thanks to Jonathan Green for a great job down there on the pit lane with the pre-race festivities and the moment of silence to honor the designer of these cars, Andy Scriven. You got a chance to hear from Max Crawford on the command to start the engines, and we have got the drivers ready to go for this second race of the weekend. The first one was eventful. We only got 2 green flag laps, and that meant only half points were scored. But we're looking for a full round of racing here, as we've got a 25-minute race for these F4 competitors about to take place. In the commentary box with me is Ryan Yardley, one of our Formula Regional Americas competitors. Ryan, you finished on the podium in the first race of the weekend. Welcome. Glad to have you here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, first race was good. Started P4 and we managed to finish third on track and just been promoted to second for the race. So yeah, good way to start the weekend. Obviously got 2 more races to come and yeah, just want to keep moving forward and still chasing that win this season. So just got to keep working hard and hopefully that will happen sometime this weekend.
Ryan, of course, with the Crosslink Kiwi Motorsports team, which is a real juggernaut in F4 and in Formula Regional Americas competition, having won the team championship multiple times over the past several years. So looking forward to more of the same. Ryan also does double duty. He's also a mechanic with the team. So it's great that you get a chance to see it from both perspectives.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely a busy schedule for me, helping the team prep the cars during the race, during the week, and also helping coach some of the drivers at test days at our local tracks. So, yeah, I love it. I'm very grateful to be here in America, living my dream, basically. So, yeah, very thankful to Gary and Tina for having me and inviting me over here to America all those years ago. So, yeah, just loving every minute I'm here in America, and yeah, very blessed.
Anything you'd like to say to your folks back in Christchurch?
Yeah, it's probably a little bit early right now for anyone back home to be watching at the moment. I know my parents tuned in this morning to watch the FR race. It must have been about 2 a.m., something like that back home. But yeah, if anyone's watching, hello to them, and yeah, hopefully I'll put on a good show in the next FR race coming up in a few hours for you.
Exactly. We've got one more race for the Formula Regional Americas drivers coming up, and then of course we will be here tomorrow morning for the final 2 races for both this championship, the Formula Regional Americas cars, as well as the F4 U.S. championship, which is just about to set off for their second race. Once the cars roll away behind the Honda Civic Type R pace car, we'll introduce the 19 starters for you. There's been some shuffling on the grid because of some penalties that were assessed to drivers after this morning's race. The number 4 car of Seth Brown was issued a grid penalty for crossing the pit entry line, so he will start in 19th position. And also for our points leader, Lockie Hughes did not have a great race. He alluded to that in his interview on the grid with Jonathan. Lockie Hughes, the points leader, did not have a great race. He also was issued a penalty for being responsible for a collision early in the race. And so he will start on the next to the last row, back in 18th position. So let's introduce the starters as they're just now leaving the false grid and falling in behind James Rogerson, who's piloting the Honda Civic Type R pace car. Starting alone in row number 10 is car 4. That's Seth Brown out of San Diego, California for Jay Howard Driver Development. In row 9 on the outside is car 6. That is Lockie Hughes, the points leader out of Gold Coast, Australia, also for Jay Howard. Next to him, the 09 of Maddie Oust. We talked to her in the pre-race. She's from Mansfield, Texas for Crosslink Kiwi Motorsports. Moving up into row 8 on the outside, car number 55, Lucas Facuri out of São Luís, Brazil for Crosslink Kiwi. Next to him is the 08 of Alex Berg out of Buford, Georgia. He races for Doran Kroll Racing. In row number 7 on the outside is car number 3, Michael Boyadzis out of Tampa, Florida. He's another of Jay Howard's drivers. Next to him, his teammate, car number 7, Al Morey, the 4th, out of Fortville, Indiana for Jay Howard. In row number 6 on the outside, car 10, making his debut here this weekend, Daniel Carra, a Brazilian driver, currently making his home in the Woodlands, Texas, for his eponymous Carra Origin Motorsports. Daniel joining us for these last 2 venues here and our season finale at Circuit of the Americas, with the thought toward a full-time campaign in 2023. So welcome, Daniel. Next to him in that 6th row, the number 25 of Jacob Boland out of Leland, Illinois. Jacob driving for the single car IGY6 Motorsports team, an all-veteran owned team. Moving forward now into row number 5 on the outside is car 12, Ethan Barker out of Houston, Texas in the eponymous Barker Racing team. Great to have Ethan with us again. And then we've got Tyke Durst in the number 17. Tyke out of Cary, North Carolina, just about an hour south of here. And he drives for Gunella Racing. Moving forward now into row number 4 on the outside. We talked to Matt Christensen prior to the start of the race in the number 45 car. He's out of Orlando, Florida for Velocity Racing Development, currently lying 5th in the points championship. Starting next to him is the 98 of Lucas Saint-Jean, a Quebecois from Lorraine, Quebec, Canada, for Jay Howard Driver Development, currently 10th in the points championship. In row 3 on the outside, number 76, Gabriel Fonseca from Sao Paulo, Brazil, for Crosslink Kiwi Motorsports. Gabriel currently 8th in the championship. And next up is Bryson Morris, the man who is just 5 points behind our points leader in the number 39 car out of Mount Juliet, Tennessee, as we're getting a replay here of a car going off on the formation lap, and that is Daniel Carra. As you can see him going off just at the exit of the Snake. We're calling that the Optima S's. So hopefully Daniel will be able to get that car back underway, but a little too exuberant warming up those tires. Anyway, getting back to our grid, we're in row 2 now, in 4th starting position. Car number 8 is Andre Castro out of New York City. He drives for Future Star Racing, just doing a partial season with us. We've only seen him at one other race round, and that was at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. He finished in the points in 5th position in this morning's race. Next up is Carl Bennett in car number 9 out of Yorba Linda, California for Gunella Racing. And on the front row, we've got the number 65 of Noah Ping for Velocity Racing Development, a driver out of Buford, Georgia, and your pole sitter. We talked to him early. He is the number 66 of Ryan Sheehan out of Horseshoe Bay, Texas, near Austin, and he's also a driver for Crosslink Kiwi Motorsport. He'll start on the pole. The drivers are gridded based on the fastest lap they turned during this morning's first race of the weekend. So that's what determines their grid position. And again, a couple drivers, Lockie Hughes and Seth Brown, issued penalties for in-race infractions. Because of the drama this morning, we did not have a chance for our standard procedure, which is a Formula One style standing start, but we're going to have it here as these cars rolling into position on the front straightaway. You can see two of our stewards putting the front row into position. They will now jump over the pit wall as the rest of the drivers being coached into their starting boxes here on the front straightaway by crew members in radio communication with each of the drivers as the tail end of the field just now coming into view. As the last couple rows coming into position, the light gantry has 5 red lights. 2 green lights will illuminate when the grid is set, and that will alert the drivers that the start sequence is about to begin. The green lights are now on, and the start sequence has begun. 5 red lights illuminate at 1-second intervals. When they all go out, we are away, and they have done so. And it's a good jump for Ryan Sheehan. Jumping right in behind him, however, is Noah Ping as everybody gets away safely, and we are on the way to turn number 1. This weekend, it's the Mission Foods turn number 1, known as the Horseshoe to the locals here. As they head down toward turn 1, side by side is the order of the day. Let's hope everybody gets through, and already we have a car going wide, and I think that is Noah Ping that has gone wide. As the rest of the field going single file down into NASCAR, turn number 3. As you can see, they're beginning to get line astern as they work their way toward turn 4, known as the left hook. That's a passing opportunity that we see drivers take advantage of. Then the right-hander, which works their way down into the S's, the lower S's, known as the Snake. The Optima S's, we're calling it. You can see the Optima battery signage, and we're going to go full course yellow right away as we're going to have to recover that car off at turn number 1. Unfortunately, it got high centered as the driver attempted to re-enter the course. Ryan, this course is very tricky, and I talked about this in the earlier race, that it's a racetrack that punishes drivers for going off because the ground falls away from the edge of the racetrack in so many places. Once you drop a couple wheels off, you're going for a long ride.
Yeah, exactly. I like to call it an old school racetrack, a real racetrack where, you know, if you make a mistake, you get punished here. So, yeah, unfortunate there. Just looked like he got a little bit high centered there at turn 1. But, yeah, I love this track. This is definitely my favorite track on the calendar. But, yeah, if you make a mistake around here, it's definitely going to cost you.
Yeah, we saw a quick look at Noah Ping as he is indeed the driver off at turn 1. Daniel Carra has made it around into the pit lane with a damaged rear wing. As you can see the replay from the drone shot. As Ryan Sheehan getting the jump, Noah Ping trying to go around the outside of Sheehan as they head toward turn number 1. Side by side they are. And Noah just carried his braking a little bit too late, got wide, dropped 2 wheels off, and that is the problem. And he tried to get back on track, but of course now the car is centered in the middle and the wheels off the ground, and he cannot continue. So that's the reason for this early full course yellow, to get Noah Ping back on the racetrack. So Ryan Sheehan is your leader behind the safety car. Bryson Morris in second spot. Bryson started this race well back in 5th position, so he's made a good jump here on the first lap. Andre Castro also making a good start, started 4th, currently running 3rd. Lucas St. John in the 98 started 7th, is up to 4th. Gabriel Fonseca in the 76 car, currently running in 5th spot. Tyke Durst in 6th. Ethan Barker in 7th. Lockie Hughes made up a lot of ground. Goodness gracious, he started back in row 9, and our points leader already up to 8th position. He's picked off half the field. I wouldn't have guessed that possible, but he's done it.
Yeah, it was definitely a good start there from Lockie. He's definitely very quick. I actually raced him in Australia a few years ago in F4, so yeah, he's definitely fast. It was unfortunate what happened in race 1, so it'll be interesting now that the field's been reset and see how many more spots he can make up throughout the rest of the race.
We can getting a view down on pit lane. Another driver with an issue, the 08 of Alex Berg, now being shown at the back in 18th position. And his steering wheel's coming off, and that is day done for Alex Berg. You can see a little divot on the side of the car. He's apparently had contact with someone, and that has put him out of the running. So Alex Berg and Daniel Carra both with damage here on the first lap. Jacob Bolin and Carl Bennett have not come by yet. Noah Ping off there at turn number 1, being shown currently in 15th spot as the field stacks up behind the safety car. As we are working race lap number 2. We'd like to get a full green flag race in here. The F4 drivers, some as young as 15 years of age, sometimes can be a little over exuberant. Noah Ping just flashing by our commentary position as he'll be able to catch up with the back of the field, and he'll start 15th. But Ryan, I know you're a little bit older, but as a driver comes right out of go-karting to a full-size race car like this, there's some adjustments that need to be made. You've got a lot of car around you that you're not used to navigate.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely a big step up, and the tracks are so much. If you make a mistake here, it's going to cost you a lot more than what it would say in a go-kart. So it's just a massive learning phase for people. I mean, it's unfortunate that we can't get some green laps, full race on the green, but that's all part of their learning experience for everyone in the field. So it's just part of that process, and unfortunately mistakes what makes you better almost. If you can learn from your mistakes and keep building from there, that's what's going to elevate you further up the grid.
Got a shot down on the pit lane of Jacob Bolin in the number 25 car with some wing damage. The IGY6 team, unfortunately, having a bad bit of luck there as Jacob had contact with someone. You'll notice from the drone shot there's some track activity going on inside the racetrack, as there's an event, a streetcar event, here as part of the Speed Tour this weekend that is going on what they call the Patriot course, which is sort of an infield race course here at VIR. This beautiful facility has multiple configurations, so don't be alarmed if you see a tin top running around on the inside of the course. That is allowed to be there. As you can see, the field's still behind the safety car. The lights are still on, which indicates we're going to go around at least one more lap behind the safety car. As Ryan Sheehan anxious to get back underway, I'm sure, with Bryson Morris right behind him. Lockie Hughes able to minimize the damage after having started clear back in the 9th row, has already picked up half the field up into 8th position. And he brought Seth Brown with him, who also started all the way at the back. Seth Brown up to 9th, as those two have run in lockstep through the back part of the field. And again, helped a bit by some cars coming together deeper in the pack, as we've lost Carl Bennett, Jacob Bolin, Alex Berg, and Daniel Carra. Little technical difficulty getting our broadcast onto the PA.
Mission Foods Austin Speed Tour returns to Circuit of the Americas November 4th through the 6th, featuring the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli, SVRA, and the Vintage Racing National Championships, International GT, FR, and F4 U.S. Championships, and the Haggerty Cars and Caffeine Car Show featuring Corvette Invasion. You do not want to miss the Mission Foods Austin Speed Tour. For tickets, simply go to speedtour.net.
Back with you now at Virginia International Raceway as we're under a caution behind the safety car. A number of cars with issues. Noah Ping with a spin right at the first turn. He has caught up and is now at the back of the pack, currently in 15th position. But we had damage from Jacob Bolin and Alex Berg, as well as Carl Bennett, who have not come around. We also saw Daniel Carra spin on the formation lap and unfortunately banked into the tire barrier damaging the rear wing on his number 10 car. And we understand from the race director that we are going to go green this time by, as the safety car working its way up the hill through the climbing S's. Every driver I've talked to, Ryan, says the climbing S's is their favorite part of this racetrack. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's a pretty cool sensation going up through there. So for us in the F4 car, and as well for these guys out there in the F4 car, it's fully flat, no lifting. So yeah, it's definitely pretty cool. And yeah, in general, it's a pretty high-speed track. So yeah, I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned it's your favorite track that we go to, and that's high praise from a driver of your experience. As the driver's down at the southern end of the racetrack, turn 11, we're calling the Franklin Road turn 11 this weekend, and turn 12, the famous oak tree bend, so named because there used to be a big old oak tree right at the apex of that turn that sadly was struck by lightning a few years ago, and the old oak tree had to go by the wayside. But the name of the turn still remains, as does the hog pen turn down at turn 17, as back in the day, there was a hog pen just to the outside of the racetrack. This track, although founded in 1957, went through a fallow period in the late 70s for almost 20 years. It was closed down and basically turned back into a farmer's field. But some very visionary new owners, Connie Nyholm and her partners, purchased the track and reopened it in the early 2000s, and it is a destination racetrack. Not only was it fully repaved, but all sorts of amenities you can see on the climbing S's, those beautiful villas just off the racetrack. They have a shooting range. There's just all sorts of activities going on here all season long in this beautiful racetrack right on the Virginia-North Carolina border. Now the acceleration zone is right there at turn 17, and right away Ryan Sheehan takes advantage and he gets his foot down, but it looks like Bryson Morris is getting a good run on him. They are now 3 wide on the way to turn number 10. On the outside, that's the 98 of Lucas St. Jean trying to go around the outside. St. Jean going for the lead as he gets tapped by the 8 of Andre Castro in the Future Star Racing Machine. So he goes around, but he's managed to keep it on the racetrack, it looks like, and he will be able to rejoin. So St. John now back to the back after a great start, put him up inside the top 10. We'll follow the progress of Lockie Hughes as he's continuing to work his way forward. But it looks like the 8 of Andre Castro has taken over the lead of this motor race. Ryan Sheehan just behind him. Then the 39 of Bryson Morris. Those two go side by side as they enter the climbing S's. That was a brave move by Bryson. Just behind them, Gabriel Fonseca, all part of that battle as well. Actually, that's Lockie Hughes in the 6, just behind those two. Up to 4th position already. So Lockie, after starting in 18th spot, has already worked his way up into 5th place. Down this long, 4,000-foot long back straightaway, and then the 3,000-foot long front straightaway, lending to the high-speed nature of this beautiful racetrack. As you can see, very undulating, a lot of vertical in it, as they climb up here to the roller coaster. And down they come, and of course the camera does not do it justice. That's a lot steeper than it looks on camera, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty cool coming down the hill there. Again, both cars are flat coming down the hill, so yeah, super exciting last sector of the track, and it really sets you up for the main run down the main straight here.
Andre Castro getting a great jump on the restart, leads this single file parade with Bryson Morris in 2nd. Ryan Sheehan in 3rd. Lockie Hughes having set the fast lap of the race just behind Ryan Sheehan. Bryson Morris doing what he needs to do to continue to close the points gap as Sheehan and Lockie Hughes go side by side in the battle for 3rd. Sheehan on the inside will have the advantage as they exit NASCAR. Now work their way toward turn 4, known as the left hook. That 4-car battle breaking away just a bit from the 5th place runner, Seth Brown, again, who started dead last on the field. And Noah Ping, remember, he spun on lap 1, turn 1, has recovered for 6th place. So we've had a couple drivers just blasting up through the field here. Lockie Hughes being one of them. We're watching that battle right now between Lockie and Ryan Sheehan as the battle for the final step on the podium. You can see those beautiful villas just off camera through that very tricky high-speed turn known as South Bend. And then that sets up for the Franklin Road turn 11 and then Oak Tree Bend turn number 12. No track limits being exercised there. This track penalizes you if you go over the edge of the track. And so the race director said in the pre-race drivers meetings that they wouldn't be policing track limits, as we've got a battle for the lead as Bryson Morris goes for the lead. And he has got a nose ahead as they make the run up toward the roller coaster. And Bryson Morris has taken that lead. Bryson Morris into the lead as they head down the roller coaster. Andre Castro now back in 2nd spot. Ryan Sheehan just behind him. Lockie Hughes back to 4th. There's no change there, but Bryson Morris using the draft to perfection to get around Andre Castro and take over the lead of this motor race. In fact, he's put out a little distance right now. In fact, Ryan Sheehan is going to have a go as he's tucked right on the gearbox of Andre Castro. He's going to try to go around the outside. He's got a nose ahead. He'll have to stay side by side as they go through turn 1, and now he's gotten it done. Great job for the 2 teammates from Crosslink Kiwi Motorsports. Ryan's given a little bit of applause here, and Lockie Hughes goes around Andre Castro. So Castro in the Future Star Racing number 8 goes from the lead to 4th in the matter of about half a lap. Ryan, I'm sure it's your preparation of these cars that has put them so well out in front. You know?
I'd like to say that, but we have a great team at Kiwi Motorsport. Everyone chips in and makes these cars super fast. So it's nice to see the 2 Crosslink Kiwi cars out front right now, and let's hope they can hold on for the last 5 minutes here and finish at the same spot they are right now.
4.5 minutes remaining on the countdown clock. And right at the moment, the teammates Bryson Morris and Ryan Sheehan at the point. Another great drive for the number 4 of Seth Brown as he has worked his way all the way up to 5th position. In fact, I think he's dropped back to 6th as Noah Ping has gotten around him. So Ping now up into 5th, and he has set fast lap of the race. And that will put him on the pole provisionally for race number 3 tomorrow morning. But as you can see, it's pretty much a 4-car breakaway with Morris, Sheehan, Hughes, and Castro in that order. And then the battle behind them between Seth Brown and Noah Ping as those 2 just now coming down the hill. Lockie Hughes making a move on Ryan Sheehan and getting it done. Hughes up to 2nd now. So can Lockie go from row 9 to the front before this one is over? What a recovery drive. The drive of a champion for sure. But that's opened the door for Bryson Morris to get a little breathing room. He's opened up a bit of a gap. And now Andre Castro wants a piece of Ryan Sheehan, as those 2 are nose to tail. Sheehan going to try to go around the outside of Hughes to repay the favor as they go through Mission Foods turn number 1. Now he's got the inside line. That will be an advantage for him as he comes up to NASCAR. Sheehan in the red tinted car has the advantage. That's Hughes going out wide, right out to the edge of the track. And now Andre Castro is going to dive to the inside of Lockie Hughes. Can't quite close the deal. Meanwhile, Bryson Morris working his way out in front at the line. He had 0.6 of a second lead, but the battle behind him is far from settled with just about 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in this one. This is 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in your camera shot as they climb through the S's and head toward South Bend. Staying line astern as they work their way toward Franklin Road turn 11. Andre Castro looking racy. He would like to get that position back from Lockie Hughes. Currently in the 3rd spot. Noah Ping resetting fast lap of the race as he has come completely from the back after that first lap incident. And he is gradually reeling this group in. I think he's getting a little bit closer. On his last lap, he was at a 57.1. Andre Castro in 4th at the line. was at a 57.9 as we got a car into the barrier. It's one of the Howard cars, and it's the 7 of Al Morey. So Al Morey into the barrier here. And sadly, that may well bring out a safety car here as we are getting in the closing laps of this one. Coming down through Hog Pen, the Big Machine Vodka Spiked Coolers Hog Pen. Bryson Morris out in front, but the battle is on for the final podium step. Andre Castro and Noah Ping, and they're going to throw the checkered flag early. Bryson Morris takes the win. And we're seeing Lockie Hughes got up to second at the checkered flag as he was able to draft by Andre Castro. Ryan Sheehan coming home in the 4th spot. Noah Ping doing a great job to come up to 5th after being shuffled all the way to the back in that first lap, first turn incident. Seth Brown, another recovery drive, starting dead last, comes home in 6th. Matt Christensen comes home in 7th spot. Tyke Durst in the 17 will finish 8th. Lucas Ficuri in 9th. And Michael Boyadzis in the final points-paying position in 10th spot. Lucas St. John, Matty Alst, Gabriel Fonseca, Ethan Barker will round out the cars running at the finish. Al Morey bringing out the yellow flag at the end here, causing us to go to the checkered flag just a little bit early. Ryan, a better race than we had this morning, although not completely clean.
Yeah, exactly. It was a good race up there at the front in those last few laps, and it's nice to see a Crosslink Kiwi car get the win. So big congrats to Bryson, and yeah, unfortunate for Ryan there at the end, just got shuffled. It looks like at turn 14 there on that last lap. So still good points for both of them in the championship, and yeah, pretty impressive drive for Lockie to come from the back row of the grid all the way up to 2nd. So congratulations to him.
Yeah, unofficially, I think Bryson will take the points lead because he gets 25 for the win. Lockie will get 18 for 2nd, and there was a 5-point difference between them. So I think Bryson has the lead going into the 3rd race of the weekend. Andre Castro coming home in that 3rd spot. I'm going to head down to Victory Circle to interview our winner. Meanwhile, Jonathan Green has sprinted back to the commentary booth, and he will take over as we with the highlights as we're heading down to Victory Circle. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks, guys. Great job. And as always, plenty of drama in that one. I would call it more of an amble, though. My sprint. But thank you very much, and what a change around your fortunes, and it's not over yet. We've got one more race to go from F4. Same with FR. 2 races to go there. And the championship's very much hanging in the balance. And as they come into Parc Fermé, John's going to make his way down there and hear from the top 3. But there was plenty going on in that one. This man, well, he said to me, didn't he? Pre-grid, I'm going for it. I'm going to get on the podium. He's done just that. Well done. And if our calculations are right, we may well have taken the championship lead. And that is bad news for the Australian. So, as you heard from Max Crawford there, pre-race, they really want an American to come good in F4. And here is one to look at for sure. Got the stars and stripes on the lid. And the first to congratulations, Gary Orton, his team manager. He is the Kiwi in Kiwi Motorsport, as is Tina. A pair of them run this team like clockwork, and that's why they're multiple champions in this series. And they just keep bringing the youngsters through each and every year. And here's your next one.
It's pretty nice. I think I've got a Facebook it.
Yeah, we started the weekend off with Bryson Morris in, what, 2nd place, but it was close in terms of points, and Lockie Hughes for Jay Howard has not had the best of weekends so far, but he can recover, and he'll be back, and certainly it's not worth worrying about yet. There's a lot of racing still to come from this championship. I can see John Fippin is down there. Let's take a look at the highlights then. Away they went from the start, dust flying up at the first corner. Yellow flags waved. Alex Berg, the first casualty to get out of the car, and then at the restart, once again, Ryan Sheehan right in the middle of it in the 66, and so too Castro. But another spinner, this time the 88 going round. Well, things got started again, and away we went. Always drama here, and there was more to come. Into the barriers went the number 7 heavily. But no stopping. Bryson Morris, an excellent win for him. So without further ado, let's join John Fippin. He's down in Parc Fermé, where he greets the top 3. Over to you. And while we wait, we'll take a short break. We'll be back from VIR after this.
Everything in our garage is inspired by our racing spirit. Race in for a great deal on the Honda CR-V. Only at the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event.
My name is Jason Alder, and I'm the driver of the number 77 Ligier JS F3 car. Being a race car driver is cool and all, but it's really nothing when you're not utilizing it for a good cause, like spreading the word for type 1 and type 2 diabetes. It does a lot for me personally, and it does a lot for the FDA.
Some of the symptoms of type 1 diabetes are sudden weight loss, vision changes, frequent urination. So remember to check, don't guess, it may not be the flu, and that education is knowledge, and knowledge is the power to help save lives. Go to dfda.info to check out Rocco's story. Thank you and have a great day.